Little test is Mike Recca.
This is Ride for Life.
It's the Lakers Nation.
This is Billy.
Alright, hang on. Trying to get this. There we go. Give me 1 sec, I'm gonna just listen real quick. Oh, come on. Alright, we should be good to go. Alright, lead it off, Mike.
Okay, welcome to another episode of the Win or Die podcast. I'm here with my co-host, as always.
Ride for Life 3, welcome everybody. Thank you for tuning in.
And I'm Mike Recca, and we have a couple of different, fun things planned for tonight. As you can see up on the screen, we have the tournament brackets. So we're going to be doing a lot of reviewing of the past matches and some of the upcoming matches. And we also have two very special guests here on tonight as we go on our first live broadcast here. And we have Lakers Nation and we have Uber Billies. Why don't you guys say what's up to the people out there?
Hey, what's goody, guys?
Hello.
Hello, hello. We obviously want to thank both Laker and Billy for joining us tonight. We also want to just let everybody know that everything that is discussed tonight is all everyone's personal opinion. They're not here speaking for the teams, they're here speaking for themselves, so nobody is here to offend anybody. We're just here to have some fun, start some controversy, and get ready for what the league has to show us.
Yeah, so let's just jump right into it. I mean, one of the reasons, we wanted to have Jeddah, Lakers Nation, and also have Uber Billy on was because, we have the upcoming matchup of Delta Alliance and Project Trojan, and we're definitely looking forward to that. But also, the reason we picked these two particular players here is because there seemed to be some really some controversy going on between the two of them. So, Billy, maybe you could tell us a little about, what went down. I saw that you even went as far as posting your address up on our Discord. So, like,
Oh, that wasn't about Lakers. That was sod. That was a whole different thing. But that was just people being retarded, wanting to say some shit. So
You had to obviously stand up for yourself and try and defend yourself.
Billy ain't no bitch ass nigga. You want to come through, come through.
I get that way sometimes. I get to that point where I'm just like, you know what? Fuck this. Bring it on, bitch. I'm right here waiting.
If people are gonna say you a bitch ass nigga, you ain't gonna do nothing. Like, pop the address. I popped the address. Like, you want the address? I'll pop that shit real quick.
I went to that level.
So that was a player from SOD, I guess, is what you're saying.
Yeah.
Who was the particular player? I mean, let's check it out.
I'm sure you guys already know the Reaper boys.
Okay.
He likes to run his mouth here and there.
I mean, every league always has those people. I mean, and that's what makes it so.
Every team.
Yeah. And that's what makes it so much fun is, those people who want to talk shit. Because obviously, even if, it's taken in a disrespectful manner, you're still pumping it up. You're getting people's blood boiling, you're pissing people off.
Exactly. You're getting the match hyped.
Exactly.
That's how I see it. Shit talk is just to hype a match up. Like, you're not going to want to go in and completely shit on a team that's completely friendly with you, You want to go shit on someone that's sitting there talking shit.
Right.
Okay,
and
well, that being said, let's hype up this matchup. We have Delta Alliance and Project Trojan. Lakers, why don't you tell us a little bit? I mean, I know there's some bad blood between the two. Why don't you tell us a little bit about, what you think is going to go down in this matchup and what who you're looking out to, maybe snipe or whatever it is.
I think we're ready. We've been practicing. We've been having matches, scrimmages against other platoons in Conquest, and be a good matchup. I hope it's fun.
Yeah, a lot to offer. You guys have some experience in the field. I mean, PT definitely has the upper hand with popularity, and I mean, you got to admit their lineup is pretty stacked, but still, a team's a team. They can have a good day, they can have a bad day. You just got to go out there and perform your absolute best and, work towards that achievement of winning.
Yeah.
I mean, Lakers. Why do you think is that so many people in PT dislike you guys? What's the reason behind that?
I don't know, honestly. I asked myself that. I'm like, why do they hate us? Ask my members that, and they asked me that. I'm like, I don't know. I guess we're just new. I think I know why, but I don't want to share it.
Okay, we can respect that.
Yeah.
But at the same time, everybody's going to have an issue at some point in time. But if you really think about it, at the end of the day, all it's doing is pumping up the match.
Well, I mean, we have a PT member right here, so let's ask him. I'm Billy. What is it about Delta Alliance and Lakers Nation in particular that you guys really don't like?
All right. So obviously, I can't speak for the PT team itself. Me personally, I tell you, I wouldn't say I hate Delta Alliance. There's plenty of teams out there that I fucking completely despise. Delta Alliance isn't really one of them. Yes, I dislike them for the sole fact of I personally have challenged Delta Alliance to matches. I know other teams that have challenged them, and they dodge. In my eyes, it is better to face a team and lose than to dodge. And I'm sure most teams can agree with that.
No, I mean,
It's
I agree with you there, but I also have to say that, with the fact that Battlefield 1 is coming to a close, and people are losing interest here and there, so, I mean, we look at multiple teams that are even involved in the league right now who, lost members, who lost some of their top players here and there, all just because Battlefield's dying, and, people are still trying to keep it alive, but rosters, they come and go, you can't keep everybody locked in all the time, and there's obviously those situations where it occurs, but at the same time, if you dodge, you dodge, and it's considered a dodge. However you want to look at it, coming out on the field and proving your worth is where you're going to succeed in proving where you stand.
Lakers, what do you say, Lakers? Have you been trying to stay away from going up head to head against them in a scrim, or I mean, what's the deal with that?
Well, it's more of like a professional issue. I mean, I don't pay attention to teams that come at us in a trash talking way. I respect the teams that say, "Hey, scrimmage?" ? Other than Randy or just coming at us in like a bad way.
I could totally respect that because I know, as a general in my own platoon, maybe I don't want to battle a team that there's going to be drama after the match or anything like that. But that's the beauty of being in a competitive league like this. So here you guys are, you're pitted against each other, and it is what it is. One team's going to go to the semifinals and one is not going to advance. And we're definitely looking forward to that match. It's going to be Saturday at it's 9 p.m. And Ride for Life will be on the stream, and it's gonna be a lot of fun.
Yeah, and I'm definitely excited to see what both teams have to offer. I mean, you both have a lot of potential. Everybody, they start somewhere, and the fact we're now in the semifinals, this is going to be a great match. I think this is going to be a highlight match outside of the 6-star game, which is obviously going to draw a lot of people as well because of 6-star's history. I think that PT and N7 are just going to be that go-to game that everybody wants to see.
And one of the great things about being live here is I'm just reading a lot of the comments these people are making. Blitzkrieg has been very active in these comments. He's saying he came at Lakers multiple times respectfully, asking for a scrim. He was denied. But, that's in the past now. We're looking towards the future, the quarterfinals here. Definitely looking forward to it.
That's how I feel, I might have not gotten my scrims, but ultimately I am getting my match. So, I really I haven't been in the toxic chat as much saying stuff to people because, if we were to face each other in the matches, it happens. N7 been dodging me for a while. Now I finally get that matchup that I've wanted for a while, And like Blitz has said, we've gone to Lakers respectfully. Been denied time after time. So that's when the shit talk came. And,
Yeah, I mean,
and that's just how we work. You know, you dodge a team after a respectful asking of us respectfully asking, saying, hey, you know, we just want a friendly scrim, and then it's like, oh, dodge. It's just like, all right, why? You know?
Yeah, and you got to think that because of all of this that has occurred, the drama level is way above everything else right now, and that's just going to bring so much more heat to the game. I think we're going to see so much crazy shit. I don't really know how else to put it. I think this game is just it's going to just be nuts because both teams want to prove themselves, and both teams they don't have a personal vendetta, but they want to go out and beat the other team. They want to go out and whoop some ass, and I think this is the perfect representation of what we want to bring to the league, you know. Drama. We want to bring anger. We want to bring gunfights, and we want to bring great victories.
You know, I'm looking at Black Vans over here. He said Delta Lion's gonna beat PT hands down. Now I know he's partially joking, but hey, do you think that maybe some people are hoping for that upset? People like to root for the underdogs. There might be some people out there that want N7 to put PT in their place. I mean, hey, that's part of the appeal of every matchup.
Of course. I've seen, like, when we do the polls about who's going to win, I've seen plenty of people voting for N7 and wanting PT to lose, which is explainable because, like, even when I was on Jedi, before I was brought on to PT, like, in the beginning of this tournament, I said it. PT is going to win. I have that faith in PT. Even when I wasn't on their team, I knew that. PT's a great team. They have great players. They have great chemistry, great communication. They're overall a great team.
Yeah, and I mean, you got to hand it to PT, the fact that they've got a bunch of well-rounded players who play for them, and they do have, like you said, they have a great sense of, they have a great plan. They have, they have everything worked out. They have strats. They have experience, which, it comes with great advantage to have that experience, have that good communication, have, all of that bundled into one pile, is hard to find. So,
oh yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it's gonna definitely be cool. It'll, N7 has a huge chance. Laker, you guys have an absolute huge chance to really prove yourselves facing one of the best teams in the, on the console league boards. And yeah, I mean, you can't leave this matchup with your head hanging low. No matter how it turns out, you gotta stand there and be like, we faced them. No matter what happens. We faced them, we put up the amount of points that we put up, and we are proud of it.
Yeah.
So,
all right,
let me go ahead and let me ask. Well, first of all, Billy, are you playing in Saturday's match?
I'm unsure of who's playing in Saturday's match, but I surely hope so. I really do.
And I know
I'd be
Lakers.
a little disappointed if I didn't.
Yeah, I mean, I think we're definitely all going to be looking out for you now, especially after this podcast. And I know Lakers, you're definitely going to be playing, right?
Oh, definitely, definitely, yeah.
Okay.
All right,
sweet.
so now let me ask real quick, Laker, do you have a general idea of what your lineup's going to look like? Like, do you have any people that you want to shout out to, or?
N7 Delta Alliance. That's my roster.
All right, that works. That's fair.
My 12. That's personal information. That's
wait for game day.
That's smart.
I respect that.
That's smart.
No, I respect that. I don't want to give out like any special weapons, shit like that. That's respectful. Yeah.
Now, what about you? You, PT, you guys, you want to share any information?
Shout out to my nigga Money. He wanted me to give a little shout out to him. Obviously, like, I'm pretty sure PT's roster isn't as much as like other teams that have come to the board. Like, some teams bring in 20 plus people. I think PT has 16, 17 people on the roster.
Right, it's a tight club.
It's definitely a tight club. So, like, most definitely, like, what's the word I'm trying to think?
A well-rounded group, but a small knit group.
It most definitely is.
Yeah, I mean it's the same way it goes for my team Ice Nine. Even though I'm playing with Jedi, my primary team is Ice Nine, and we're a small group too. We focus only on domination or the other T5 type of tournaments, and we only have 7 active players on our roster, and that's always how it's been, between 7 and 10 people. And we choose to be that way. We're very picky about who joins. We're very specific about, the way we want it worked. And, even though we don't have a mass amount of active players on our team, we can count on every single member who is a part of that team. And being able to count on your teammates is one of the big things that you need to be successful with as a team.
Big facts. Big facts.
Okay, while I have you
All right,
guys here, let me just go ahead and I'm looking at the bracket right in front of me here, and let's move from your side of the bracket and let's look at the other side, the left side. Who do you think is going to come out of that side? Just your personal opinion. We got Murder Mafia, Oxygen, Evolution, 6-Star Generals. Who are you guys looking at making the finals from that side?
You want to go first, Lakers, or?
Go ahead.
Alright. Me personally, honestly, I'm kind of shocked Murder made it to the second round. I'm kind of disappointed in VVV. I've heard a lot of great things about VVV, and I face Murder, and every time I face them, I've yet to lose. So it's kind of that type of way with Murder. I had some history beef with them since TGM days. Only a few will understand that. And it's just, I'm actually really impressed with Murder for making it to the second round. Now, Oxygen.
Well, they did make it on a no-show.
Oh, they made it on... Oh, never mind then.
Yeah, BBB didn't show up.
Scratch what I just said. Jeez. I did not know that. So,
yeah, sadly, VVV didn't end up showing up. I believe, from what I understand, they didn't have the numbers. They lost a lot of their key players right before the match was supposed to occur. So they took it as a loss because they knew that due to the lineup they had, they weren't going to win anyways. So rather than go out and embarrass themselves, they just would rather take the forfeit. Which, I respect that, but if it were me,
yeah.
I would have still gone out there and put out my best
most
effort.
definitely.
You got to go out there, even if you're taking that loss, you take it with pride. You put your best effort forward and try and get that, take that loss with pride. Yeah.
Oh, yeah, most definitely. I still think it would have been a nice, tight game if VVV put their heart into it and tried their hardest. I think it would have been a nice, tight game. Now,
what do you think, Laker? Real quick, Bill, hang on one sec. What do you think about the Mafia versus Oxygen? Who do you think stands out?
Oxygen has a lot of experience players. Murder Mafia, we've been scrimmaging on, and they're good people, and I wish them the best. That's who I got for that round.
All right, now Billy, go on.
All right, so like I was saying, Oxygen, they're a great team. I faced them when I was in my Jedi days, and let me tell you, they definitely are not a team to sleep on. They are great players, great people. And I honestly do see Oxygen taking it on top.
Okay. So you predict Oxygen end up facing whoever, ends up on the other side bracket into the finals.
Oh, yeah.
All right. So how do you feel about Evolution then? And
I love my boys from EV. I fucking love them. Shout out to my boys in EV. But honestly, like I said, Oxygen is not a team to sleep on.
Okay.
I do think that EV and Oxygen is going to be a great battle because I do see EV beating 6-Star. I do see that.
Yeah. Okay.
But I definitely think that EV and Oxygen is going to be one hell of a fucking battle. It's going to be a tight score, tight battle, and it's just going to come down to the not the statistics, but pretty much the communication, the strategies, and just overall communication.
Yeah, I mean that's going to be that's definitely going to be an amazing. If it came down to that, that would be definitely an intriguing matchup to watch. I know Oxygen has a bunch of XP guys with him, right?
I'm pretty sure
that are helping him out with a little bit of the the vehicles and stuff. Because I know Oxygen is primarily a front lines team, but that's definitely something I want to keep an eye on. Because I know Murder Mafia, they pride themselves on their tanker. E-Ready, That's the star of the show, so to speak, when Murder Mafia plays.
Right,
So
but you got to think on Oxygen's part. They're thinking, all right, this is their key player. This is who they're going to look towards. That's the person we're going to target first.
Most
Take him
definitely.
out
When you
first.
have one key player, it kind of screws the team because that's who's going to be targeted.
Right.
I
So
know when I
that
when I
could end
played
up-
Murder Mafia, that's definitely was our strategy. Take out E-Ready in the tank, but as people have said, he's always very well protected in that thing. So
Oh yeah, oh yeah, 5 to 6 reps at a time.
But we also have to remember this is not front lines. We have air assault, and you got to be able to prepare for that as well. You may have boots on the ground cover, but if you don't have that proper air cover, you could be in some serious trouble.
Oh, most definitely.
Now, I do have a question for you guys. This is unrelated to Win or Die, but this is really big news in across all platforms. What do you guys think about Ender deciding to close out Tier 1 gaming?
I think
sorry,
that
but I
laugh says
have
it
to
all,
know.
right?
Nah, I figured that question was coming.
I mean, I need your opinions on it because, obviously we all know that Oogie Boogie has a long-standing relationship with Ender, and I personally, I can't stand Ender. I think he's, a liar. I think he tries to make things out to be worse than they really are, and he I don't even know how to put it. He favors certain teams.
You put it pretty correctly. Like, I haven't had direct contact with him for the sole fact that I'd tell that bitch ass nigga that he's a bitch ass nigga. I'd put him in his place. I've seen messages that he sent to people, personally threatening them, getting Omega butthurt, like to an extent, like that you don't need to bring to a gaming community. People need to realize this is a gaming community, guys.
Yep.
People say shit to piss you off. Okay.
Exactly.
Just take it and dish it back. I've said some things that, just to purposely piss someone off.
Right.
And clearly it works sometimes.
Yeah, you were intentionally trying to get under someone's skin, but at the same time,
Exactly.
it comes down to the fact that it's a video game. Some of us take it more seriously than others. Obviously, some people are a lot more competitive, or more competitive than others, but it's still in the end a video game. We're not playing for $1 million per first prize. We're playing for bragging rights. And that's something to think about. Obviously we're hoping that the community builds up, gets stronger, and we get the opportunity to have a national esports league that has, or money leagues that offer chances for prizes. We know that BFN has done some money leagues and prizes and so on and so forth, and we're pushing towards that with a league, with a tournament that we have coming up. We have cash prizes, so everybody wants to push towards that, and Tier 1 just, they don't have what it takes to keep up with the competitors, especially with a leader who stands where he does, with the reputation he has.
Oh, yeah.
I mean,
I know Tier 1 gaming for kicking out good teams. Like, if you're too good, he boots you. You know what I mean?
His reputation definitely preceded him, and a lot of people really soured on that league. But here at Win or Die, we are definitely welcoming any teams that need a home with open arms. And hopefully, there's still some, there's still a few other leagues that are around, and those leagues are just going to get stronger, in the absence of them, which, to be honest, they were on their deathbed for the last few months anyway. So he just put them out of the misery. But we are going to have just constantly running tournament after tournament here, and hopefully that just the pool of possible teams that are going to be joining these tournaments hopefully just definitely increased. And that's that.
Now, Laker, did you or your teammates or anybody else have any type of relationship in Tier 1? Did you guys compete? Any of you compete in Tier 1 at all?
We heard about it. I mean, it's kind of sad hearing that they're dismissing Tier 1. They had a really unique league. I liked how they were organized. I do know that Ender had really a bad relationship with platoons.
Yeah.
Um,
Arn, he definitely, really killed it by he jumped to conclusions. He had
I
invalid
think,
reasons for reacting.
Oh yeah,
yeah.
it took things to a whole new level of personal. Like
Mm.
honestly, I really wish I had some of the messages he sent to people because like reading them just it angered me how personal someone would
Yeah.
take things over a video game.
Well, I just I know from firsthand experience that I know a member of the community who Ender actually called the cops on him and reported him for, stalking him because he was just calling him out and stating facts. And that's pretty low, You actually
Oh
have to
yeah,
stoop to a
definitely.
level where you have to call the police and report a gamer because he's stating some facts. Like, really, bro? It's crazy. But, with that being said, Tier 1 gaming is coming to an end, so obviously being,
Rip to
even
them.
though yeah, being they weren't the biggest league out there, but they were a popular league. They were known around. They did have a slight reputation for drawing a good crowd until Ender destroyed it. So, that gives we're giving out open invitations. Anybody who was involved, is involved, wants to be involved, come join up. We're always taking new teams, always taking new ideas, matches, whatever you have to offer, whatever you want to do, just let us know.
Yeah, I mean,
We're here with open arms.
I think this is a great time to mention some of the upcoming tournaments that we do have planned. We have the Dogfight tournament coming up at the end of the month. Um, we also have a Battlefield 4 tournament coming up that does have cash prizes, which that's exciting right there.
Yeah, I believe first prize is $200. First place is $200. First place is $200. Second place is $100, and third place will walk away with $50. So definitely get your squads and rosters set up because you're going to want to be involved in that if you play Battlefield 4.
And that is free to enter. So you're coming in, you've got nothing to lose, and you have the possibility to win money, which that's pretty awesome.
Oh yeah.
We have the European tournament going on. We're in the semifinals of that, the Tier 8 Frontlines European tournament. And here we go. We're working towards, we're completing the quarterfinals here of the Tier 12 Conquest tournament, winner take all. And, we got some real juicy matchups lined up.
Definitely. I think the next couple of weeks are really going to brew up to be amazing and a lot of fun, and I think they're going to turn into some really, really close games. Some games that we may not have even have thought would have been so close.
Okay, so at this point, me and Ryan are going to go over some of the past matchups. We're going to give our thoughts on the upcoming matchups. So before we let you guys go and this segment ends, let's have you guys each you guys will have the floor and you guys could speak your mind, and we'll start with Lakers.
Yeah.
All right, that's all good. A big shout out to Delta Alliance. We wish you guys all the best in your upcoming match against PT.
Yeah, I wish PT the best. And all
Yeah.
the teams.
I gotta say, Los Angeles, they're known for their marijuana usage. So I'm gonna have to just assume this guy's stoned out of his mind right now.
I'm relaxed. I'm just here.
You're just in the zone, doing your thing.
Just being myself.
That's
All
what's
good,
up.
homie.
That's
No,
what's up.
Yep.
Do you want to give
What
any
about you,
shout
Billy?
outs?
Delta Alliance.
All right,
Go
cool,
Delta
man.
Alliance.
Yeah. That's
All
it.
right, Billy. Do better, Billy.
Oh jeez, my ribs are fucking hurting. Oh gee, whatever. All right, so what was the question?
This is like,
just pretty much, just
Uh,
shout outs or if there's
shout
anything
outs,
you want to tell.
Like I said, my nigga Money, gotta give him that shout out. My boy Diabetes Boy actually has diabetes. He has a PayPal if you guys want to go donate to him. He needs help, real help.
Okay.
Of course, shout out to PT. You gotta give the team the shout out. I'm just looking forward to the matches. I really am. I think these semifinals are going to be, or quarterfinals are definitely going to be some good matchups. I think the semifinals are going to be even better, and I think they're going to bring a lot of hype. Honestly, the match I'm looking forward to is the PT versus Razzle, I think it is. Razza?
Yeah, Raza.
Raza,
Raza?
that's
I
in.
think.
Raza.
Oh,
Yeah,
yeah,
RZ.
RZ is definitely not a team to sleep on either, in my opinion. When I was in Jedi, I said it's definitely going to come down to PT and RZ for the right side of the brackets. And I'm ready for the championship pretty much. I can't wait to see who makes it and what two teams are going to go head to head.
So you're already predicting holding that trophy over your head, aren't you?
Well, like I said, when I was in Jedi, I predicted Jedi was going to win.
Right.
I mean, not Jedi.
PT.
PT, yeah. Hold the brain part right there. I predicted it since day one, like beginning of the tournament. Once I knew PT was signing up, like I said, they're a great team, fucking fantastic, great chemistry, great communication, great strategies. They have it locked down. They're a great team.
Right. All right.
well,
So the last question I have to ask you guys before you leave, because we didn't have a guest last week. Obviously, Battlefield, DICE, EA, they've all released this information May 23rd. Battlefield will never be the same. What do you guys think is coming? Do you guys think that we're going to get a World War II game? Do you think we're going to get a Vietnam game? They did announce that it will be called Battlefield 5 with a V, which a lot of people are implying. Yeah, a lot of people are implying that that it could be hinting to a World War II theme because in 1945 facing the Germans they called it V-Day or VD Day. Or
I've heard
they
the
also
V
look
could
at
be
it.
Vietnam.
Right, exactly. Or
That
they
is
could be
true.
hinting towards a Vietnam game, which me personally, I'm really hoping for a Vietnam game because we haven't had one in a really long time. I think it would be a great era to play in again. It would just be perfect for this time, and there's enough World War II games out there. I don't think it's going to help them in any way. But what is your guys' opinion on what we have to come?
Well, I know when I don't know how far back you guys go with the game, but when I played Battlefield Bad Company 2, they had a Vietnam DLC, which was friggin' amazing. It was better than the base game itself, in my opinion, at least. And I would definitely like to revisit that, now on the PS4, being in jungle warfare, that whole type of thing. I would definitely be very excited for a Vietnam game. I would also be excited for a World War II game. I particularly don't want the modern warfare to come back yet, but that's just my opinion.
Okay. What about you, Laker?
Whatever it is, I'm picking it up. If it's modern, I
You're
really don't want a
pre-ordering it
modern,
regardless.
Yeah, I really
Right.
don't want a modern Battlefield. I mean,
Yeah.
I already got 4.
I do
really
agree
did
with
enjoy
that.
it.
Yeah, and not only that, but Battlefield 4 is still such an amazing game. It's not, it hasn't really
yeah,
died.
yeah.
You can still go in there, have a lot of fun. It still looks great. It captivates you. It's got everything you want out of a game. And how old is that game? 6 years old, 5 years old? There's not many games you can take like that and be like, hey, I could still go in there and fuck shit up.
Big facts.
What about you, Billy? What do you think's to come?
I mean, I think either way, it just better not be like Battlefield 1. I think they did a lot to fuck up Battlefield 1. And I'm hoping they learned from their mistakes and that they're just going to make the best possible Battlefield. Either way, I think Vietnam, World War II, I care less as long as it's a good Battlefield. As long as it's the best they can make it. If it's another shitty Battlefield, I'm going to be extremely disappointed and I'm just going to fucking play Minecraft for the rest of my days.
All right.
All right, well, I want to thank you guys for joining us, and good luck in your matches this weekend.
And thank you for having me.
Thank you.
Billy, Laker, have a
fun
wonderful
being
evening. Thank you again for coming. We had a blast doing this, and
Yes, sir.
big shout out to both teams, PT as well as Delta Alliance. We wish you both the best of luck, and we will see you guys this weekend.
All right, man. Have a good night, guys.
All right, later.
You too. All right, Mike, so why don't we dive right into the past matchups we had this past weekend?
Okay, let's go ahead and do that. I mean, let's see, we had Evolution versus the Regime.
Yes, EV and Regime were great games. Obviously, I streamed both these matches that we had going on. Um, EV and Regime were close games. You know, you had game one, which Regime really struggled a little bit in the beginning. You know, they put up 369 points against EV with the win at 500. But they didn't stop. You know, they put out their best effort and came in game two. You know, really coming close. They pushed it. They kept the score close. They were working those flags. They were holding their positions, winning their gunfights. But overall, they just couldn't step over that hump and get that victory. Only putting up 408 points, you know, giving them the loss against EV in the point standing. But you know, definitely a huge shout out to Regime. You know, obviously they're called the Devil Regime, but you know, they did a great job in attempting to try and take it. I didn't see them you know, putting out the numbers and the points that they did. So huge shout out to them. You guys did a great job. You know, hold your heads high and be proud. You know, you guys played well.
Yeah, I mean, the Regime is definitely a team on the rise. They seem to get better and better as time is going on, and I'm definitely looking forward to seeing what they have, next tournament.
Definitely. We're excited to have them back.
Another match we had was a quarterfinal match was SOD versus Raza Latina.
Yes, this was another great game. This was an unexpected game on my part because I didn't plan on having that game go back to back right behind it. But, you know, it was a quarterfinals match. It was a close game, and, you know, it was another game that I didn't predict it would turn out the way it turned out. You know, you had, you know, RZ. Obviously, they did end up taking the victory. They did win both matches at 500 each. But SOD did put up good numbers in game one with 401 points. So they really needed to hold RZ to only 99 points and take that victory for them to have had advanced. But then they really started to struggle. And in game two, they started to lose their stamina. They started losing their control. They started losing their gunfights. And ultimately, they ended up getting hurt in that second game, only putting up just over 300 points. But a huge shout out to both teams, obviously, and RZ moving on. Will, you know, they're locked in the quarterfinals and they'll move up to the semifinals.
Yeah, from what I hear, RZ is a great team. So for SOD, which is a newer team, to really go in there and put up a fight, they have to, hold their heads high. They did a good job. Thank you for participating. And
yeah, and
go ahead.
I do also want to say, the MVP for that matchup was definitely Mega Mente, who in the tank went 41-1, really holding shit down. I think he made a huge impact in the turnout of the game. So, for that game, I give him the MVP.
And as I look at the brackets here, I see that Muni is here. He's the dude that made these brackets, and I'm just looking at him and like, why'd you go with pink? We got
yeah,
blue.
Muni.
What's up with the pink, bro?
You got a sensitive side, don't you?
It's the yin and the yang, the blue and the. But all jokes aside, it came out nice. It's definitely looking good. So I guess the next thing to do would be to give our opinions of the three matchups we have this weekend. So let's just start off with Murder Mafia versus Oxygen.
All right, so like we had discussed earlier with Billy and Laker, Murder and Oxygen are going to be a good game, but Oxygen, I feel like they said they have the upper hand because they have experience. They have the knowledge to be able to overcome what they're facing up against. And Murder Mafia, they only have one real weapon to offer, is a good tanker. And if you don't have multiple cards on the table, it's going to be really hard to be well-rounded and be able to properly move into the positions they need to get to, because obviously Oxygen is going to come out. They're going to target that tanker first, make sure he goes down. I know he's going to be defended, but again, you have air support. You are going to have to deal with more than just ground support and other tanks. And this isn't front lines, which is where Murder has, or no, that's where Oxygen has most of their experience.
Well,
But
I
they have,
think both of them are really front lines teams. Both of
yeah.
them.
So then, yeah, it's going to be a good matchup. I definitely see Oxygen taking the win. I see them at about 100 points overall. But, that's still giving Murder a lot. I think that they will easily be able to put up 400 points per game. I could see potentially a closer game than that, but we'll have to wait and see.
Okay, let's move on to the Friday night highlight match. uh, I'm laughing at Muni's comments, but the Friday night highlight match, Evolution versus Six Star Generals.
This is going to be a great grudge match. We obviously know the history the Six-Star Generals has. They came out talking all this shit. They came out saying they were the best, they were undefeated, and then, they faced up, against PT and they got beat. So now they're trying to build that reputation back up, and they're stepping up facing a team that has a lot of experience. Even though they may be a slightly new team, they have a lot of experienced players who know what they're doing. So it's a game where our Six Star has a lot to prove and they have a lot to fight for, but at the same time you got Evolution. Wow, I called them RZ. My bad. You got Evolution who are coming out there with the experience that they have. They're just going to bring the heat. So it's going to be. I think this is going to be the game highlight of the week. That's my personal opinion, just because of all the drama that has occurred with Six Star. And I'm excited. I can't wait for this matchup. This is my highlight matchup of the week.
I think a lot of people are expecting Eevee to just steamroll Six Star Generals. But the way I'm looking at it, Eevee didn't steamroll the regime. And I think a lot of people would think Six Star is better than the regime. No offense to the regime. It's just going based off reputation. I don't know if they've ever played each other or not. But this might be to me, this is going to be a close match. I could almost even see one team winning the first round, one team winning the second round, and it going to the tiebreaker of tickets, which hasn't happened yet in this tournament.
Right. Yeah, it's definitely gonna be a great game. It could go both ways, It could turn out to be a complete blowout, or it could turn into a game that comes down to the final seconds and making sure that they have that extra point. So yeah, make sure you guys tune in this weekend to see all this action.
And then the final match, Delta Alliance versus Project Trojan, which we've went over with two of the members. But let's just give a brief overview. You could go
Yeah, I
ahead.
mean, PT obviously is the favorite team here. N7, Delta Alliance, they have a lot to offer. They have experienced players. They know what they're doing. They are facing, like I said, one of the best teams on the console leagues. But you, you can't predict what's going to happen. Although I want to predict what's going to happen, you can't predict, because even the best of the best could have a bad day, or a team that isn't the best could have a stellar day and just blow everybody's mind. So I think this is going to be a game that is we're going to have to watch closely and really see, because it could go both ways. It could be another matchup where you got to remember there's also a lot of drama and a lot of anger behind this matchup as well, which really pumps people up, and it could change the outcome just in and of itself. So definitely keep an eye on this one. This one's going to be a good game. It's going to be fun, and obviously the winner of that will move on to face off against RZ in the semifinals. So
Yeah. I think Lakers did not want to give PT any added motivation. He was definitely holding. He was being a bit quiet. He was playing it close to the vest. He didn't want to give them any added motivation. But let it be known, these two teams do not like each other. They've talked a lot of shit to each other, and I'm sure behind the scenes they are definitely. You heard Lakers did say we've been practicing, so they've been practicing a lot in preparation for this match, and I just hope that it's a good match, and when it's over, the two teams can come out with a mutual respect for each other, and I look forward to it.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, in the end, we got to all remember this is a video game. As much as we love it and however serious we want to take, I personally, I take it very seriously. That's just me. I'm a competitive person. I always have been, always will be, and sometimes that gets me in trouble. But, that's just who I am. Other people, they're more casual about it. They don't really, who cares? But everybody has their own idea of how they portray the game and how they take it, and, it's it's gonna be good. There's nothing bad I can say about it. But I hope that in the end we can all be friends. Obviously, this is a community. We want to grow as a community. We don't want to have any bad blood. It's not. We don't want anybody taking any personal vendettas out on anybody else. It's we're here to cause the banter, cause the shit talking, to bring out the best in you all. We want to see the best of the best coming out here and playing. We want to see you guys do the best you can, and I think that by angering you, that will help you. And yeah,
All right, so I think that's going to be pretty much it. Let me just do a couple of shout outs. Shout out to Black Vans. Shout out to my VIP brothers, Disco Volante. Shout out to Blitzkrieg. We got to get you on here one of these episodes. And shout out to everybody listening, and we appreciate it. And please hit the like button, hit the subscribe. We're going to be doing these every week. And also, we have, this is an excellent opportunity to tell you guys, we have the Winter Dice store with apparel and merchandise available. And, check that out. You can get a Winter Dice shirt. We also have a couple of different platoons, have merchandise for them available there. And, all the money just goes to help the league, servers, pay for possible prizes, things like that. And, we also have the Patreon. So check that out as well. It's all at the bottom of our Discord. Support Win or Die. So, we could just grow and provide you guys with more and more tournaments and opportunities in the future.
yeah. And I mean, obviously, we love doing this for you guys. We enjoy the community. We love, putting on these events and having a lot of fun. If any of you guys who don't have merchandise up on the website and you guys want to get merchandise made for your prospective teams, just shoot Mike Recca a message and let him know that you have an idea for your team logo, this, that, and the other, and we'll definitely set you up on the website. I also want to give a big shout out to Muni. Obviously he's done all of the work for our designs and our brackets and everything else, so shout out to you, Muni. I also want to give a shout out to everybody else who has been partaking, helping Laker. We want to thank you, Laker, as well as you, Billy, for both coming on here. I also want to give a huge shout out to K-Slay for giving up his spot on the podcast tonight for Billy to step in. We're excited to have you come on to the podcast in the future, as well as a bunch of other people that we have ideas for that we want to bring in here. So, huge shout out to you guys. Thank you all for tuning in. We had a great time, and we will see you guys this weekend.
All right, later, everybody.
Have a good night, all.
Thanks for listening.